ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy. So I'm very happy to be amidst all of you today. Okay, if possible, come closer. The front row is always empty. It's very important to fill the front row. Otherwise, the speaker only gets spaced out. And those who have come on time today, you will get special prasad from ISKCON Vrindavan temple. This is the result of coming on time, and those who have not come on time will see what they will get. So if you sit through today's class, kuch to milega life mein. How many of you are coming for the first time today? Good number of people in every class they say I'm coming for the Okay, how did you get to know about this session? Yeah. Okay, and what about you, sir? Same. So you are aware that you have missed 2 weeks of sessions? Okay. So welcome to the third session of this Gita course. This session is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And what's the title for today's discussion? Am I this body? Who am I? Yeah, who am I? So, this question is very self-explanatory kind of question, rhetorical kind of question. But let's get some answers before we start. We'll start from this side, sir. If we ask you, who are you, what will be your answer? Spirit soul. Spirit soul. He came directly to the spirit. मैं आत्मा हूँ. Okay, what do you think? What about yourself, sir?
Part of a being.
Part of a being. Okay. This is like a more exalted and less a self-explanatory answer. But अच्छा है. पूरी तरह से समझ नहीं आ रहा है, मतलब आंसर अच्छा है. Yes, from something from this side. Who are you? If we ask you the question. Yes. It's clear. It looks like there is no need to do any discussion today. If all of you already know you are the soul, तो game over है फिर. Anyways, we know that we are the soul, but we do not know the scientific basis of why do we say that we are the soul. So in these sessions we just try to establish the Siddhanta and the scientific basis of Krishna consciousness, so that later on when you meet some very nice person who is challenging the Sanatana Dharma or the basic principles of Bhagavad Gita, then you will be able to present the Sanatana Dharma in a scientific way. So therefore the agenda for today's discussion is our two identities, how many bodies we have, the proof of the soul's existence. Quickly we'll take some FAQs on the soul, and then what are the advantages of soul realization. And then of course the most important part of today's discussion, chanting. If you may allow me to ask, how many of you are thinking and or are not thinking, how many of you have started chanting regularly? Very, very good. Very good. Very few people from this side, but many people from this side. That's very good news. So as we say that the main thing in these Gita classes is you should start chanting. That is the essence of Krishna consciousness. Chanting the holy names of the Lord in the age of Kali Yuga is the basis of Sanatana Dharma. So chanting is most important. If all of you can purchase one Japmala and try to chant on it one round every day, that will be a good start for your Gita course. It takes 7 to 8 minutes to chant one round. And if you can read little Bhagavad Gita, let's say 15 to 20 minutes every day, if you have time, half an hour, 1 hour. If you have more time, you did not read throughout the week, so in one day you caught up 3 hours, that's also fine. But have a quota and try to stick to it. The discipline of chanting daily and the discipline of reading daily is very rewarding. So our two identities. What are the two identities we have? One is the identity which we actually are, which all of you are answering, I am the spirit soul. And the other is the identity which we fake it, which we present it in front of others. So we wear some masks on a daily basis. Our real constitutional position is that we are loving servants of God. And this is our eternal constitutional position. Jivera Swarup Haya Krishnera Nitya Das. I am the eternal servant of Krishna. But then some fake identities which we have. Tell me some of the fake identities which we have. Sorry? Positions. No, why just talk about घर में भी होता है position. Position is there in house also, in vegetable market also, in organization also. And most importantly, these positions are there in your mind. Manasijam. You are just thinking that you have this position. Others are laughing at us. We just look at this fellow. He thinks he is the manager here. So nobody, position is a mental concoction basically. So yes, that's a fake identity. I am the director, I am the manager, I am the such and such decision maker. Any other fake identity? Body. Yes, I am identifying with this body. I am thinking I am an Indian, I am an Australian, I am a German, I am a Russian or a Ukrainian, I am a Chinese, I am whatever, man, woman. Any other fake identity?
Because of me only this task is done.
Prakrite kriyamanani gunai sarmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma karta ham iti manyate. Due to ahankara, due to false ego, I start thinking I am the doer. Yeah, okay. My ego creates an egoistic identity of myself, which is not the real me. Like a fool, I am thinking that I am the doer, but actually everything is being done by the laws of material nature, which is ultimately being sanctioned by God. Did I explain you the triangle? Man proposes, God disposes, material nature executes. This triangle, did I explain? So there is a triangle. It's called as the triangle of No, I don't know what triangle it is called, but you can give it some name, the triangle of karma maybe. So our position as Jivatma is only to desire. I want to do this. I will try to do this. That is the desire. Now whether I'll be able to do it, actually, that depends on the will of the Lord. For example, let's say if I decide I want to have a green colored Lamborghini car for myself, and I want to drive it on Bangalore roads, that too in Whitefield. So Krishna will check my pious credits. Does he have sufficient punya, pious credits? Has he done sufficient charity in his previous life? Does he, according to the laws of karma, deserve to get a green colored Lamborghini car? If I have those pious credits, then God will sanction, okay, let him have. And then the material nature will execute it. The material nature will help me to collect the funds, take some EMI. Lamborghini people also have EMIs. Huh? Okay, collect some EMIs to buy a Lamborghini car, and then drive it, having a driver, and while driving it, feel happy in life. So these are the executions of the material nature. So basically I just desired. Now let's say I am desiring, but my pious credit does not have a green colored Lamborghini car. It only has the Rapido bike. Nothing else is there. So no matter how much I desire, it will never get sanctioned. At the max, I can become a driver of a person who has a green colored Lamborghini, but I can never have it. Even if I am a very rich person, if God does not sanction, I will not be able to have it. And no matter how hard I work, if I have not done sufficient charity in my previous life, then I will never be able to be rich in this life also. So this is called as sanctioning authority of the Lord. So man proposes, God disposes, and material nature executes it. For example, now I want to raise my hand like this. So I have a desire to raise my hand. So God will see whether to sanction it or not. He says, okay, sanctioned. Then the material nature, earth, water, fire, air, ether, they are helping me in a very organized way to raise my hand. Let's say God decides, no, he will not be able to raise his hand. Then I will suffer from paralysis. And then material nature will not execute. No matter how much I desire, no matter how much I want to lift, I will not be able to lift my hand. So that is the cycle, karma cycle, triangle. So the point was, a person who thinks that he is the doer is a great fool. Ahankara vimudhatma. So that is also a fake identity which we wear. The identity of false ego. Thank you. Any other identity, fake identity we have? Yes? Name, of course. Name. Millions of lifetimes, millions of names. Which name is actually your name? Any other fake identity? Gender, yes. I'm thinking I'm a man, I'm thinking I'm a woman. I'm a man, I'm meditating on a woman. Next life I'll become a woman. Then I'll start thinking I'm a woman. And I'm meditating on a man. Next life again I'll become a man. Then, oh, I'm a man now. This is nonsense. Any other identity? No, you have to raise your hand, yeah.
Nature, how we behave, creates an identity for other person to judge whether I am angry, whether I am happy, whatever emotions that we create through our nature, that creates an identity.
So basically it comes from the mind, no?
Mind.
So our mental concoctions, they also make one identity. I've started thinking about, made an opinion about a person, or I have become opinionated about myself, that I am such and such, I am very important, the world revolves around me, This is my thought process. So that creates an identity, but actually it's fake. Yes, somebody wanted to say something here. Relations. Can you explain a little bit more? I am someone's daughter, I am someone's mother, I am someone's sister, I am someone's XYZ. Yes, that is also fake identities. Fake in the sense they are real, but they don't last long. They are not eternal identities. Before becoming anybody's daughter, sister, or mother, I am a servant of God. And this relationship will last. Okay, so therefore we have understood. Actually, the whole session you people have understood. I don't know. I'll move very fast today. Because you people are Brahma Gyanis. Brahma Gyani bane 2 hafton mein. In 2 weeks, you people have attained the Brahma Gyan. So our true identity, we all have a temporary identity and a permanent identity, alternatively known as relative and absolute. Temporary identity is based on body. Do I need to explain all this? Self-explanatory, no? Keeps changing. Can you ask her why she has come today? आज आप मंदिर क्यों आए हैं? आज मंदिर क्यों आए हैं आप? अच्छा, गीता कोर्स के लिए आए हैं, ठीक है. This girl, whenever I see her, I ask, why you have come today? She gives crazy answers. So today she is telling she has come for Gita Course. So you see, our temporary identity is based on the body. Now, a question. You are 45 years old, right? This time we'll catch someone else. We'll catch someone from this side. Who would like to volunteer for some quick questions which starts with your age? From this side. It's very important. To understand Bhagavad Gita, you should know your age. Yes. Mataji is saying she is 34 years old. We'll make it 35? Okay, 35. Do you remember something when you were 7 years old? Any memory from the age of 7? 7, 8, like that, 9, in that range, 5 to 7, 5 to 8. You don't need to tell that memory. Just if you know, you say yes. Do you remember something when you were 14 years old? That time, 10th standard time, 9th standard, the horror time of life. And do you remember something when you were 21 years old? Then do you remember something when you were 28 years old? Obviously. And now you remember anyways. So, please compare yourself now and when you were 7 years old. When you were 7-year-old, your intelligence was different. Your mind was different. Your body was different. Your speech was different. Everything was different compared to what it is now. Now, when you were 14 years old, your mind, intelligence and ego was different from what it is now. But still, why do you feel you are the same person? Your mind has changed, your intelligence has changed, your body has changed, your environment has changed, your ego has changed. Your financial circumstances have also changed. But still, why you feel you are the same person? Anybody would like to answer why you feel? Now, literally speaking, when you are 7 years old, your body is different. And when you are 35 years old, your body is different. But still you feel you are the same person. Yes.
Is the name identity that is being...
चलो name भी change कर दिए. I know a girl whose name is Angel. Now she is thinking to keep a name, some Vedic name. तो उसका नाम भी एक newspaper में affidavit डाल के change हो जाएगा. तो नाम भी बदल जाएगा, बॉडी भी बदल जाएगा, माइंड भी बदल जाएगा, इंटेलिजेंस, थॉट प्रोसेस, एवरीथिंग, कल्चर भी बदल जाएगा. She took birth in Indian culture. God knows in which culture she'll grow up into. So why does this girl or this Mataji or you or anybody, why do we still feel that everything is changing but I am still the same?
chemical.
Give me a more scientific answer. Yes.
Because the soul does not go.
Very good. We should give her some nice reward. Our body is changing, our thought process is changing, our mind is changing, our ego is changing, our intelligence is changing, our circumstances are changing, everything is changing. But one thing that does not change is the soul. And that is why we still feel I am the same person. Why I took this number 7? Because every 7 years, each and every cell of our body also changes. Biologically speaking, we are a different person altogether. From 7 to 14. It's like two different people. Two different people. You see this boy playing with the balloon, and then this boy roaming around with this girl, and then this man roaming around with hopefully the same girl. And this old man thinking what to do in life, and now this old man like what I have done in life, and then just the tomb. So this boy and this man sitting here, he is always thinking, when I was 7 years I did this, when I was 14 years I did this. Why? Because the soul never changes. So this is a natural proof that we are the spirit soul and not the temporary identity which is based on the body. Does it make sense? So our temporary identity is made out of these things, and all of you told all this also. Name, nationality, profession, religion, and gender. Now, I'll present you something very funny. Dr. Harry Monson, Professor of Anatomy, Illinois College of Medicine. You can note down these names. He says, our body is nothing but, or our existence is nothing but a series of chemical reactions, that's all. Chemical reactions only. And therefore he said that there are 5 pounds of calcium, 6 ounces of sulfur, 1 ounce of iron, etc., etc., etc. And then when you collect all these chemicals, 4 or 5 years ago it would cost 110 rupees. Now maybe 500 rupees. So basically your body is worth 500. You are worth 500 rupees. Now coming back to the green colored Lamborghini question. If you are driving a green colored Lamborghini car and if you meet with an accident, should I save you who is worth 500 rupees? Or should I save the car which is worth, I don't know how much, but I'm hoping millions? Whom should I save? Or whom should anyone save? The $1 million Lamborghini car or the 500 rupees person? Why? Are you crazy? You don't know mathematics, finance? You are just 500 rupees worth. And the car is like millions of dollars and millions of rupees and billions of rupees worth false ego also. But common sense, like you are 500 rupees, no. According to Dr. Harry Monson, Professor of Anatomy, Illinois College of... See how intelligent he looks in the photo also. I am not challenging the research of Dr. Harry Monson. I am just saying that he got the point wrong. Although he became a great doctor, his photo is moving around, but he did not understand who am I. Internally he knows it, but he is missing the point. If you ask Dr. Harry Monson also, that you are saying that you are made of chemicals, so if you get stuck in a lift or if you die or if you do a car crash, my dear professor, should we save you or should we save the car? Because you say we are just 500 rupees worth. He will say, no, first save me. So actually, inherently we know all this. But we just create a fake identity around ourselves. So there was an old lady. She had a very beautiful golden cage. And in the golden cage, she would keep a very beautiful red color parrot. Have you seen a red color parrot? It looks very beautiful actually. They have a beak of bluish color and reddish body. They look very beautiful. So she brought this very beautiful parrot and put it inside the golden cage. Perfect combination. However, she used to think that the cage is more important than the parrot. So therefore she would clean the cage every time. Keep it very clean. But she did not spend time with the parrot, or she did not give food to the parrot. She very nicely took care of the cage, but she ignored the parrot. Then what would be the result? What do you guess? Parrot died. Now what's the meaning of a cage which has no parrot? There's no meaning to it. Whether the cage is golden cage or diamond cage or platinum cage, it is meant for having a living entity in it, parrot, so that you can get some company. So similarly, we call this, just like this old lady, she behaved in a stupid way. She took care of the parrot, but she ignored the cage. So the parrot can be compared to the soul, and the cage can be compared to the body. If you take care of your body, but if you ignore the eternal spirit soul, you lose everything in life. You put the best shampoo, you use the best soap, you get 8 hours of sleep, you eat the right food. Basically, you eat the right food, you get the right sleep, and you do the right exercises. And you take care of your body very nicely. But you do not chant Hare Krishna. Then you are as foolish as this lady. She took care of the cage, but she ignored the parrot. So if you take care of your body very nicely, all exercises you are doing, for good health you need 3 things: good sleep, good food, and good exercise. These 3 things if you do, body will work nicely. But you should remember that you are not this body. Even the fittest person in the world, if he or she does not have the spiritual quotient, if they are not knowing that they are not this body but they are beyond this body, they will be miserable in their life. I repeat, they will be miserable. They may be the most beautiful man or the most beautiful woman, but if they do not know the value of bhakti, they will be miserable. And they will commit suicide also. Recently, we heard of some very beautiful actor who committed suicide. Why this happens? Because of wrong identification of the self. So therefore, if you take care of the spirit soul, you will always be happy in life, in any condition. Even if your body is paralyzed, you'll find some reason to be inspired to serve God, to serve Krishna. But even if though you are the most beautiful man in the world, but if you do not have Krishna consciousness, then the most beautiful man will be most miserable also. So therefore, the Gita clearly says that you are not the body but the spirit soul. This much you people already know. Now, how many bodies we have? Next question. Can you all check once how many bodies you have? Only one? What about you? Only one? Anybody having 2 bodies? 3? Somebody is telling, मेरे तो 5 हैं, 10 हैं. How many bodies do we have? Why am I asking such a stupid question? कोई 2 बोल रहा है, कोई 3 बोल रहा है, बताओ. ये लोग 3 एक बॉडी हमसे संभल नहीं रहे हैं, लोग 3 लेके चल रहे. So actually we all have 3 bodies. One body is this gross body, this sthula sharira, which is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and we can touch it. And the combination of earth, water, fire, air, ether depends on the planetary system. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, soul is sarvagataha. That means it resides everywhere. That means there are souls on the sun planet also. There are souls on the moon planet also. There are souls in the Brahmalok also. There are souls in the lower planetary systems also. There is something called as fire bacteria also. Do you know? There are bacteria which live in fire. There is living entities living inside volcano also, 3000, 5000 degrees centigrade temperature. And their body is used to the 5000 degrees centigrade temperature. If you may bring down the temperature to 4500 or 4000, they will die. Imagine what their body is made of. We have earth, water, fire, air, ether. Earth component is more. So we have an earthly body. So people on the sun planet, they have a fire component more. So they have a fiery body. That is how Surya Deva exists, no? But just because the scientists think that life means it should be like earth only. If the conditions are not like earth, that means there is no life there. If life can exist in a 5000 degree Fahrenheit centigrade volcano, if there is something called as fire bacteria, why can't there be an entire civilization on the sun planet? Just because you cannot go and investigate because of the limitations of your body, you deny existence of life. That is very wrong. Why does the creator Krishna says that soul is sarvagata, soul resides everywhere? Krishna should have told that soul is prithvigata, only on earth. But that is not the case. Just like there is life, logically speaking, there is life in water, you agree? There is life on sand, you agree? There is life on mountains, you agree? There is life on the entire planet, you agree? Then why not life in sky and why not life in other planets? What is so special in you that only your planet has life? However, our Vedic scriptures deny this. Vedic scriptures clearly tell that there is a person called Vivaswan who received the first instructions of Bhagavad Gita crores of years ago. He is the sun demigod, Surya Deva. The proof of his existence is that he is the spiritual master of Hanuman. The proof of his existence is that he made Mother Kunti pregnant. With whom? Karna. The proof of his existence is that he gave the Akshay Patra to Draupadi. And there are various activities. People on different planetary systems, they exist. So on earth, our gross body is like this, and the earth component is more. So all of us have a gross body which we can see also. Point to be noted, there are many other living entities in this universe which have a kind of body which you cannot see. It is called as the ethereal form. For example, the Gandharvas, or the Siddhas, or the Charanas, or the Kimpurushas, or people from the lower planetary systems, the Danavas, the Daityas, if they come around, you cannot see them also, the Devatas. They can choose to remain invisible to your vision. Your vision is only the spectrum. In this range only you can see. Your hearing capacity is only 20 to 20,000 hertz. Below and above you cannot see. Similarly, your visible spectrum is also limited. They can exist in different spheres of life, which you cannot see. So gross body is something which you can perceive and which you can see and feel. That is gross body. All of you have? Can you confirm? How many of you have a gross body? Sitting in this class, confirming? Okay. There are no ghosts here. Okay. How many of you have a subtle body? Subtle body means mind, intelligence and ego. Combination of these three is called as a subtle body. Subtle, why we call it as subtle, sukshma? Because I cannot see it. For example, until you open your mouth, I cannot predict your intelligence. But the moment you open your mouth, oh, I will understand, acha. Like that. So, can you, if that sir is quiet now, so his intelligence is not visible. So, does it mean he has no intelligence? Yes or no? Does he have, sir, do you have intelligence? No, the person behind you. You have some intelligence? He's telling, yes, I have. But it is not visible. But it is there. So similarly, do you have some ego? But it is not visible. But you have. So like that, those things which are not visible on a gross platform, it's subtle. We can definitely see his intelligence, we can definitely see your ego, but we have to spend more time with you. So that is called as subtle body. So subtle body is made of mind, intelligence and ego. And then the innermost body, which is our real self, is the spirit soul. So spirit soul is coated by two more bodies. Which are those bodies? Gross and subtle. So next few slides are explanation of that only. Gross body is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And this combination can vary from different planet to different planet. Subtle body is made of mind. Mind means emotions, thoughts, feelings, desires. Intelligence means discrimination, determination and decision making. False ego is our temporary identity based on the body. But the spirit soul, our eternal body, is Sat Chit Anand. That means as a spirit soul we are eternal, we are full of knowledge and we are always happy. Why? Because we are serving God. So when we forget our Satchidananda identity and assume some fake identity and start having a lifestyle based on the gross and the subtle bodies, that is called Maya. Another example, very specific for Bangalore people. Gross body is the computer. Subtle body is the software. And soul is the electricity. So which is the most important body here? Without electricity, what's the point of your software? And without software, what's the point of your so-called computer? So if you take care of your soul, your subtle body will automatically be nourished. And when your subtle body is nourished, then automatically your gross body will be taken care of. But if you do vice versa, that I'll take most care of my gross body, but I will completely ignore my subtle body is stinking. My mind is filled of filthy things. My intelligence is completely corrupted. And my ego is greater than the Himalayas. Then soul will be starving. But reverse is, like if you have a good spiritual quotient, then you will have a good emotional quotient, good intelligence quotient, and then the body will also function. Generally it is seen that those who are happy in life, they are generally healthy. Have you seen that? Have you seen? People who are happy, उनका health भी अच्छा रहता है. And those who are always depressed and always envious and always lusty and always greedy and always angry, they have so many diseases in life. Have you seen that? Only this side is saying yes. हम लोग देखें. This side is like क्या बोलेंगे? डॉक्टर का बिल देख के बीमारी चला जाता है. Bhagavad Gita also explains our body or gives the analogies of these three bodies with the help of a chariot example. Am I moving very fast? It's okay because you people already know who you are. So I'm just moving fast today. Analogy of the three bodies coming from Katha Upanishad. Very nice analogy. Please listen very carefully. You see 5 horses of different colors. Are you able to see? Is my laser pointer visible onto you also? Wow. So these 5 horses are shown in different colors, stating these are the 5 or the 5 Gyanendriyas. Knowledge acquiring senses. The sense of sight, the sense of touch, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, and the sense of hearing. Now all these 5 senses have different sense objects. For example, the ear wants to hear what? The ear wants to hear one's own glorification. Swakatha. What else the ear wants to hear? But very right answer, no? The ear is craving for it. The people around me, they are not understanding my value. Everybody who meets me, first they should touch my feet, put a garland and start glorifying me. If they want to make their existence perfect. But what to do? When I descend in my human form, people do not understand me properly. Yes, the ear wants to hear one's own glorification and gossip also. Sometimes gossip is the spice of life. What else? What do the eyes want to see? Netflix, he's telling. Yeah, the eyes wants to see the Netflix, the opposite gender. This is what the eyes want to see. What does the nose want to smell? Somebody is telling good food. And somebody told perfume, talcum powder. These days, even in toothpaste, some fragrance they are putting. Hand wash. Today I washed my hand with coconut aloe vera. I don't know what things they were telling. But yeah, smell was also coming. So yeah, we are mad behind smell. So how to purify these senses? So ear should hear only about Krishna. Then your sense of hearing will be purified. You should smell only those flowers which are offered to Krishna. Then you can purify your sense of smell. Similarly, eyes are meant to see the form of Krishna. So instead of seeing the opposite gender and Netflix, you can try to see the Krishna's form. Similarly, tongue is meant for tasting everything around the world. When I was a small child, a program used to come, Chakle Zayaka India Ka, I think on some news channel. And there was a reporter called Vinod Dua. He was being paid to travel in different parts of India and taste various items and just comment on it. What a nice job, na? Ghumo, khao, comment karo, paisa lo. But I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been happy even after traveling all the 29 states of India and eating everything in those states also. Because the tongue will be satisfied only when you give it Krishna Prasad. In some sessions we will discuss the science of eating. You can't just eat anything and everything which is cooked by anyone and everyone. You need to eat only Krishna Prasad. So these senses, they want different things. So therefore you see each horse is trying to run in a different direction. The ropes which control these horses, they are the mind. So our senses can be controlled by a controlled mind. But who controls the ropes? The charioteer. So the Kathopanishad and the Bhagavad Gita says that the charioteer is like the intelligence. And the person sitting in the chariot, the owner, is the spirit soul. So the control hierarchy starts from here. The soul should tell the intelligence to control the mind, and the controlled mind should regulate the activities of the senses. Such an existence is called a spiritual existence. But let's say the soul is telling, but the intelligence or the charioteer is weak. As a result of being weak, he is not able to control the reins. That means uncontrolled mind. And when mind is uncontrolled, then one will do theft, dacoity, rape, depression, suicide, murder, everything will happen. So therefore, if you chant Hare Krishna and if you read the Bhagavad Gita, then your intelligence will listen to you. Intelligence will be stronger than your mind. I always highlight this point, that intelligence should control the mind. Mind should not control the intelligence. Intelligence should listen to the soul and control the mind, and mind should regulate the senses. This functional document of human existence should be taught in the first standard in the school. So that as and when people grow up, they should understand that soul is greater than intelligence, intelligence is greater than the mind, mind is greater than the senses. Then they will lead a life of character and sense control. But because this is never taught, all of you are studied, no? Some educational degree all of you have. Did any school or university teach you this? This is your basic existence. That's why we are having this session. Who am I? Who am I? This basic thing only is not explained to us. That is why we are suffering in life. Srila Prabhupada used to say that people are criticizing ISKCON for brainwashing the people. Prabhupada, this complaint used to go to Prabhupada. Many news reporters used to say, you are brainwashing people. Srila Prabhupada used to say, yes, we are washing the brain. The brain is so dirty. There is cow dung in the brain. We are washing and making it clean. This is called brainwashing. The brainwashing means there is so much dirt. Close the door, please. Close the door. दरवाजा बंद कर दीजिए. Please, thank you. So, our brain has been told, our materialistic school in university education has taught us, eat, live, drink and be merry. Kal ho na. Correct, no? It's my life. You've got just one life. जी ले, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा. कुछ कुछ होता है. दिल तो पागल है. लास्ट में हम आपके हैं कौन? I hope some people are getting the pun which I am saying here. So if Vedic education system was that from the age of 5, the focus was there on spirit soul. Therefore, in Vedic times, the son of a great king used to be a great king. The son of a great Brahmana used to be a great Brahmana. And there was no economic problem. Not even a single beggar. And everybody was happy in life. But then came the Western education system, which made people babus, clerks, which made them feel bad about their agricultural ecosystem, which made them financially independent. They employed malicious translators like Max Miller and others, who maliciously translated the Vedic scriptures, and these babus, when they read, our Vedas are so disgusting. Statements like, a single shelf of the library in Europe is greater than the entire Vedic culture of the Indian subcontinent. These kind of statements were being given. The idea that anything which is good has to be foreign only. Till now we are suffering from this mentality. विदेशी है तो अच्छा है. Thank God China exists. It's balancing. Now you have started thinking at least Asian है तो अच्छा है, Chinese है तो अच्छा ही होगा. So earlier in India, nobody was a beggar, nobody was a thief. 95% of the people had their own food. Even if tsunami comes or earthquake comes for years together, they will not have any problem. There was sufficient stock of grains and sufficient number of cows in everybody's house. It was a joint family culture. In every house, at least 10 to 20 people used to come uninvited daily and have food. Still no problem. Everybody used to have a cow shed. All guests used to sleep there. Every gentleman would offer a liter or 2 liters of milk to the saintly person. They used to work hard for 5 to 6 months in a year, and 7 months in a year they would dedicate for Tirth Yatras, and every evening they would hear pastimes from Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. This was their life. But then the Britishers, they spoilt this agrarian economy. They killed the agriculture of India. And then they killed the Vedic education system. And they made babus. Earlier we were slaves of Britishers. Now we are slaves of Google, Yahoo, and I will not name few companies. Slavery is still continuing. Srila Prabhupada says any man who has half acre of land and 2 cows is an independent man. He doesn't need to do anything, he is self-sufficient. But we want this artificial economy. We want to pay 400 rupees for one bowl of dal. That is what we want. We want to pay 100 rupees for one roti. That is what we want. So therefore, we want to pay 1 lakh per annum for sending our children to nursery. That is what we want. So then suffer. And why this is happening? Because the focus is on this. Sense gratification. How to enjoy your senses. If the focus comes back here, how to live a simple living and high thinking, spiritually enriched life, which will take you to the right destination. If the focus comes back here, then there will be no problems in life. But because the focus is here, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा, कल हो ना हो, कुछ कुछ होता है. तो कुछ कुछ होता है, that means पुनरपि जन्मम पुनरपि मरणम. So therefore I insist, please travel all over the world and preach the functional document of this body. This photo is taken from the Bhagavad Gita book only. Travel everywhere, have a Bhagavad Gita book, strike a conversation simply by showing this photo. It will leave a food for thought in their mind, in their hearts. And then try to follow up to them by speaking from the Bhagavad Gita, by reading with the Bhagavad Gita. There are 500 companies in Bangalore. It is my dream that in every company there should be a reading club. If there can be a Toastmasters club, I hope you know what is Toastmasters club. It teaches you how to speak nonsense with confidence. And that confidence, if you don't have, fabricate that confidence. I was the president of so I know what it means. It trains you in public speaking, and then you become very good managers. And then 20-30 years of your life you can speak crap and keep drawing your salary. I'm sorry if managers are here, but this is the reality. Instead of wasting time in nonsense dance clubs, which are there in the corporate, why not have a Gita reading club? Invite some people in the garage of your company. Take 1 hour lunch break. 20 minutes finish your lunch. In the 21st minute, assemble with 1 or 2 more people in the parking lot. Sit and read and discuss. And when the number of people increase, book a meeting room and discuss. And then find some favorable person, send a circular in the company that we are trying to understand Indian knowledge systems and we are trying to understand the science of Bhagavad Gita. Those who are interested, please join us. And in this way, in a year's time, grow in number. Gita club, Bhagavatam clubs. That is how we can spread Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to lead a happy life. Now, I'll get any questions, by the way. Yes, your name and then the question.
My name is Kavini. So my question is, if this picture, this chariot, is the
Functional document of the body, of the existence, yeah. The chariot here is the body you have, human body, yeah.
If this is the existence, then why we are not able to follow this? This is how it should be.
Because of this, we have given more importance to the gross and the subtle body.
But why subtle body dominates?
Maya and association. Karanam gunasangasya sadasad yoni janmasu. The kind of association you have, that decides your thought process.
It's practice as well.
Again, that is also dependent on association. If you have the right association where everybody is spiritually inclined, and janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam, they are seeing the fault in the cycle of birth and death. If you have such an association, then you will have the right practices. But if you have the wrong association, you will have the wrong practices.
I think he doesn't have that, once we are born, it's not.
Yes, that is your and our misfortune that we did not had the association of saintly people. It is due to our bad karma that we took birth in materialistic circumstances. But by the grace of Krishna, somehow now we are in the shelter of Krishna. At least now take it with full sincerity. Is your question answered? The proof of the soul's existence, I'll just run through it because you are Brahmagyanis. There are three ways in which we will prove the soul's existence: common sense, science, and then scriptures. Let's do it with common sense first. Everybody, please point to your left hand. Point to your left hand. Yeah. Now point to your nose. Point to your left leg. Oh, everybody is getting it right. Point to your right leg. Point to your left ear. Point to your right nostril. Now point to yourself. You are pointing to your which part of the body? Which part of the body is you? Your leg, your nostril, your ear, your chest, your belly, which is you? Somebody told chest is me. So if we have to draw your photo in Aadhaar card, we'll take photo of your chest and we'll put it there. Huh? Heart. When somebody dies, what do we say? I want the answer in 5 different languages. How do we say in Kannada? Somebody has died. Yes, Kannadigas? Any Kannadigas? Some proper Kannadiga. You are like a naturalized Kannadiga. So some original Kannada. Swargastha? Ragidare. Ragidare andre? Hogidare andre? He has gone. But the body is still here. The nose is here, the right nostril is here, the ear is here, the chest is here. But why you are saying avun hogidare? Sorry? Very good, you are the most intelligent person. Although the body is here, but somebody has gone. Who is that person who has gone? That is the real you. Now give me the answer in Tamil, Tamilians. How do you say? Okay, it's becoming a language exercise. I think you get the point. You go in any culture and any part of the world. Knowingly or unknowingly, they will say, this person has passed away. But the body is still there. So I'm trying to prove from common sense. When I asked you which is your right nostril, you said this. But when I asked you who are you, you said the whole of this is me. There is no single body part. You can't say that I am the ear, I am the nose, I am the chest, I am the belly. You can't say. And when somebody dies, you say he passed away. And sometimes people are very optimistic. They don't know the karma of a person, but they say he passed away to Swarga only. Swargastha. तो स्वर्ग ही गया है. कर्म किया है कुत्तों वाला, बट गया है स्वर्ग. अरे how do you know who has gone to Swarga? But yeah, that is the culture. Somewhere he has gone from here, he has gone to a good place. We don't know, but we believe. But the essence is somebody has gone somewhere, but the body is still there. The brain, the liver, the kidney, which all can be sold also now. Everything is still there. So by common sense we know that there is soul. Correct, no? Now, scientifically we will see using two things, that is near-death experience and reincarnation. How many of you have had a near-death experience? Hey, you have had a near-death experience, huh? Yeah, you raised your hand, no? No, the small girl behind you. Yeah, you have had a near-death experience. Seriously? Tell us about it.
I was on my terrace and I almost fell.
Hey, not that kind of experience. Just now I was coming in an auto and there was a big bump. The auto driver did not see it. The auto was in air for some time. And then it jumped on the ground. So I was like, bache. And the auto driver didn't turn around and say sorry also to me. Anyways. So that cannot be called as a near-death experience. Near-death experience is that when you see yourself dying. Or sometimes you have actually died. But then somehow you are revived back. That is called near-death experience. Anybody? There was another person raising hand. Yes. Have you died and come back again? Yeah.
When I was 15 years old,
50 years old? 15.
I was diagnosed with bone cancer. So there was a treatment.
Let the mic come to you so that everybody can hear clearly.
Yeah, so
Mic is not on. Mic is not working. Okay. Okay, be loud and clear.
So I had a near-death experience when I was 15 years old. I was diagnosed with bone cancer, and the treatment was lasted for 2 years. And there was one moment particularly when something was very serious. I don't remember much of it, but I was there in the hospital unconscious for 3 days, and I don't remember any of it. But my parents now tell me that somehow they tried to save me back. So yeah, I had that.
Okay. I'll give you some more vivid experiences. There have been documented cases where people have felt and they remember also that they had an out-of-body experience. So some people have experienced that some 3 very horrible looking people with their nose and faces almost twisted, big ears, very majestic, strong. They came with ropes and they were pulling me out of my body using those ropes. Some people have been in coma or being completely unconscious, but when they wake up, they are able to tell what surgery was done on them. There is a case where a person has come to the hospital in coma and remains in coma for many weeks. Ultimately, some operation is performed on that person. And clinically, the person is a vegetable. They can't hear, they can't see, they are basically in coma. However, when that person wakes up, that person is able to tell, listen to the following, that what the doctors were discussing while operating the body. Now someone may say, हो सकता है सुन लिया होगा operation के time. But then that person is also telling that on the terrace of this hospital there is a blue colored shoes which are kept. And the rainwater is flooding it. And it is filled with the leaves of the oak tree which is on the boundary of the terrace. And there are so many flowers which are fallen on the road. How can a person in coma describe all these things that the doctors were discussing about golf? On the terrace of this hospital, these are few things. So this is called as out-of-body experiences. So people actually leave their body and then they come back. This is called near-death experience. And this experience of being attacked by ghostly beings with ropes, this is the experience of a person called Ajamil from Srimad Bhagavatam. And these people are called Yamadutas. If you ever see a person who is passing away, who's dying, and while dying they are passing stool and urine in the bed, you should immediately understand that Yamadutas came. And by the fear of seeing the Yamadutas, this person has passed stool and urine in the bed. And then that person is not Swargastha. The person died, you may say Swargvasi, all that, but that person has gone to Yamaraj only. So there are many such cases. So near-death experiences, even the documented cases, they clearly prove the existence of the soul. That a brain-dead person is able to observe events from a place outside the body. This evidence shows that our self-awareness is independent of the brain and the body. Clinically brain-dead, but you know so much, you are able to gather information in that stage also. So this self-awareness we have, which is even valid in the stage of coma, is the proof of the presence of the soul. Another proof of the presence of the soul is, we see, scientifically observed and experimented, the pregnancy of a woman. One woman chooses to associate with Bhagavad Gita and hear Bhagavatam during the stage of pregnancy. And another woman chooses to go to nightclubs and hear that rock music. The consciousness of the children will be different. Now, who can medically prove that the fetus which is there in the womb, how the fetus is able to process all these spiritual sound vibrations? But we know it is a science. Even Mother Sita, when she became pregnant, all the sages from all over India had come to sit in the court of Lord Ram just to give good samskaras to the children which are there in the womb of Mother Sita. How does this work? This is the proof that there is a soul. When the child is in the form of a small matar, peas, in the womb of the mother, from that time only the cultivation starts. Now how you can prove this? That means soul, whether it is there in an elephant's body or in a human body or whichever stage of life, soul has its awareness and it can catch the spiritual vibrations. This is the proof of the existence, and even near-death experience. Now, there is another experience of reincarnation. Anybody who has reincarnated, any Punarjanam case here? Anybody? I am waiting to meet such a person, but here is a person for you to note down. Mr. Deep Kapadia. Please note down the name. Homework. Please read and research about him. He is a living person, a mathematics professor in one of the colleges of India. He knows who he was in his previous life. Point to be noted, his place of birth is different, his body is different, his previous brain has become ash burnt, he has a different brain, different nervous system, different body, everything is different. There is no connection at all. But he is able to remember who he was in his previous life. He has been able to describe where he used to live. He took his parents of the present birth to that village. He embraced, he was 4 years old, and he embraced a 50-year-old person saying, "He is my son, come here." Very unique, no? A person like him goes and embraces that, some old person, and "You are my son, come here." And the old person is feeling, yeah, he is my father. And then they asked him to give proof. Then he said, okay, I was a security guard in this and this museum. And then they asked him some questions about the museum. He was able to give answers. And there was one question which only he could answer related to the museum. A 4-year-old boy knew how to operate a kerosene oil table fan. Have you ever seen it also? Previously, a table fan used to work on kerosene oil. Dr. Ian Stevenson, professor of psychiatry, West Virginia, USA. Because when Prabhat Khabar and Hindustan Times report all this, you will not believe. But when Dr. Ian Stevenson, professor of psychiatry from West Virginia, USA, will report, then it must be correct. क्या करें? Slavery and attachment to the Western culture is there in our blood. It will take some centuries to brainwash. Work has begun. So Dr. Ian Stevenson has documented 3,000 cases of reincarnation. Just one doctor traveling all over the world has documented name, phone number, address, details, everything. Verifiable. You can go and verify these cases. And majority of these 3,000 cases are alive, still living. Example is Dr. Deep Kapadia. His phone number is there on Google. You can call him up. कि आपके बारे में ऐसा बोले. सच है क्या? He has a website of his own also, where he has documented. There is a section, frequently asked questions. I think he must have got fed up. He put frequently asked questions. I had a colleague, he met with an accident. So he came to office with his hand fractured. Now what is the natural reaction? कैसे हुआ? कब हुआ? ठीक हो अभी? So he got fed up. One day he lost it, man. 40 people came and asked. So he sat in his place and he printed FAQ, frequently asked. And he stuck it on his shirt. And he's sitting and working. Anybody is going, frequently asked questions. And he, theek, okay, I will not disturb. So I think Deep Kapadia got frustrated. He frequently asked questions, who he was, who his parents were, what age he remembered, what he remembered. Everything is there. Don't call him and ask all these things. So, this is sufficient proof by the mercy of Dr. Ian Stevenson. This is sufficient proof. From common sense perspective we proved, and now from the perspective of science, it is also proved. There are documented cases, medically speaking, near-death experience is a phenomena which medical science cannot explain. Reincarnation is a documented phenomena which medical science and psychiatry cannot explain. However, let's come to the proof of the spirit soul through scriptures. And in the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter only, everything is explained. Please repeat with me. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. Very good, thank you very much. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Dhiras tatra na muhyati. So just like this Mataji, 35 years old, she has already changed her body 5 times. 7, 14, 21, 28, now new body, 35. So when the body is useful, she is changing. One day this body will no longer be useful. Then she will take a new body, which is fresher. Just like the soul is already now, my friend 45 years old, already changed the body 6 times. But nobody is being surprised. Just like you are changing the body from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly when the body is no longer useful, you give it up and take a new body. That is called reincarnation. Dhiras tatrana muhyati. Those who are self-realized, they do not become bewildered to hear all these things. How, in a very simple, analytical way, in terms of analogy, Krishna has explained in one verse only. What Dr. Ian Stevenson has not properly explained in even 33,000 documented cases. I'm saying he has not properly explained because he himself is confused, according to Wikipedia. But Krishna puts it in just a simple phrase. This is the reality. You accept it and save time. Another proof. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnanya anyani samyati navani dehi. As a person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones, similarly the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So this is the proof of the existence of the soul. Triple S proof. Proof through common sense, proof through science, and proof through scriptures. Are all of you convinced that soul exists? Please raise your hand, those of you who are convinced. Those of you who are not convinced, अब आप क्या भूत देखेंगे तभी मानेंगे? Some frequently asked questions on the soul, inspired by my friend. First question, where does the soul reside in the body? Anybody knows the answer? It resides in the region of the heart. Sorry? Hriday Kshetra, yeah. It resides in the region of the heart. So one very intelligent question. What if somebody has a heart transplant operation? उसका soul ही change हो जाता होगा. और common भाषा में, what if on the Valentine's Day you give your heart to someone? तो soul ही change हो जाएगा फिर तो. If you give your heart to someone, ideally speaking, you should change your personality also, no? But you remain the same disgusting personality. And then you give your heart to someone, and then to someone, and then to someone else, and then to someone else, and then you realize that I should have given my heart only to Krishna. You know, one of my friends told it in a very funny way, but he told a very nice statement. दिल देने वाले भगवान हैं, दिल धड़काने वाले भगवान हैं, तो हमें भी अपना दिल केवल भगवान को ही देना चाहिए. If you appreciate this statement, then you should understand that by doing heart transplant operation, your soul does not go away. So the soul, the heart is a gross body, beating like this. Subtler than that is mind, intelligence and ego. And even subtler than that is the soul. Hiranyakashipu, when he was doing tapasya, the ants had eaten away his body. The nervous system, the muscular system and everything. Only bones were there. Pretty sure the heart was also eaten away. In just a skeleton, he was able to circulate his pranavayu and remain alive and continue to tapasya. 7th canto of Bhagavatam, you can read more about it. That means even if your heart is not there, soul can still be there. So therefore, in the region of the heart, the region where the heart is there, in that region the soul resides. For example, this chair is here. I am sitting in the region of this chair. You decide to remove this chair and bring a new chair. Does that mean कि मैं भी चला गया उसके साथ? No, I am just waiting for a new chair to come. Anyways, that's a very stupid example. The point is, soul is spiritual and heart is material. But it resides in the region of the heart. Next question. अच्छा, soul transplant answer हो गया. Okay. What exactly happens at the time of death? Answer is this. 8.6 Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitah. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So what do you think you will think at the time of death? Most probably. Oh, she's smart. She's like, I'll think about God only. I was thinking you will say, I'll think about my dog. But you are thinking about God. Very good. So yeah, if you think about your dog, you will become a dog in next life. But do you think, is it easy to think about God? Just next to this center, you can see some iron staircase. Are you able to see? Go up to that iron staircase and fall down from there and come down rolling. And then see in that stage which is the first word which comes out of your mouth and what you are thinking at that time when your legs and hands and head is broken. Generally, most of the people, when they get hurt or when they are in deep crisis, they say SHIT. Such a pious memory, such a pious utterance. SHIT. And what do you think you'll remember at that time? He's telling, I'll remember SHIT only. See, I'll tell you one experience which I had. I was in the 11th standard and my grandfather had given me his Bajaj Chetak scooter, which I was wanting from many years. And I used to roam around with that Bajaj Chetak in my whole town. Those who have not seen Bajaj Chetak, they will not understand what I am trying to say. I used to get respect in my school because I had a Bajaj Chetak. My school used to start at 8 a.m. Sometimes when I used to come at 8:05 also, the security guard used to open the gate. At least I used to believe it is because of the Bajaj Chetak. Anyways, so it was a rainy day and the road was slippery and I was driving fast. This habit of being late is not new to me. In my school days also I used to go late only. So I was in a hurry and I did not see a bumper. So I met with an accident. I don't remember, but the people who saw me, they told me that I was lying in that place for 20 minutes. But I felt I lied only for 1 minute or so. And I'm fully confident that after 1 minute I got up. But the other people who were around me, they were saying you were there from 20 minutes. We were thinking you will wake up on your own. But when we saw you are not waking up, so we came to pick you up. I said, thank you very much. At least after 20 minutes you came. But then we saw you are not bleeding much, only some injuries, cuts here and there. So we didn't take you to hospital. I said, thank you very much. How nice people you are. But I clearly remember that when I met with that accident, it was very painful. I had fractured my left thumb also. And deep injuries, deep cuts. And it was paining a lot. And at that time, I was thinking, oh, now I will miss my school. I had to do this work. I had to finish this assignment. I had to beat up that boy. I had to clear this thing. Whatever tasks I had, I was thinking of that. Now, if at that moment I would have died, God knows what would have been my destination. So don't think that when death will come without invitation, you will be able to think of God very easily. Mostly you will think of the unfinished endeavors of your life, which is in the mode of passion. Or if you have some deep attachment with your dog, with your wife, with your son or with your husband, you will think of them. It's not easy to think about God. So therefore death is called as the final exam. And life is a preparation. No pun intended, no disrespect intended when I say that life is not just about art of living, but life is actually the art of dying. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever consciousness you have at the time of death, that will decide your next body. So therefore, human life is meant to prepare for that final exam. Make your consciousness so that when death will come, uninvited, and you will have the pain of 84,000 scorpions biting you simultaneously, and then you are seeing the faces of your beloved grandchildren and family members and your dog, and you're thinking about the unfinished endeavors, how will you think of Krishna? Very sorry, it's not easy. And if your karma is to become a dog because you have been lusty, and if you're thinking of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, then if you're smart enough, you'll know where your next birth is. A security guard dog in Rashtrapati Bhavan. It's very serious. Don't think that without leading a life of sadhana, you can think of Krishna at the time of death. Do not cheat yourself. It's like thinking, I didn't prepare for an exam, but I went to the examination hall, सब कुछ automatically आ गया, लिख दिया मैंने. कभी ऐसा हुआ है? You didn't study for the exam, but you went in the examination hall and you wrote down everything. Has it happened ever? ये हाथ उठा रहा है, इसके साथ हुआ है. Seriously? थोड़ा और wait for a few more years. You will really see Brahman in the examination hall. You will be counting tube lights and all those things. So similarly, if we do not prepare for death, then we will not be able to meet death properly. How does the soul transmigrate? Suppose I didn't pass the exam of death. Passing the exam of death means I get liberation from the cycle of birth and death, and I go back home, back to Godhead. Alliradu nammane, illi bande summane. So I go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world. That is called passing the exam of death. But what if I don't pass the exam? That means my soul takes on a new body. That's called transmigration of the spirit soul, which Krishna explained in this verse. Dehino yasmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovajam jara tatha dehantara praptir, from one deha to the next deha. That is called transmigration of soul. How does it happen? Shariram yadavapnoti yachapya utkramatishvaraha grihit vaitani samyati vayur gandhan ivashayat. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions from one life, from different conceptions of life from one body to another, just as the air carries the aroma. My question is limited to the first two rows. Are you getting any aroma? Little bit. Thank you. So how the aroma is coming to you? Can you see that? But it is coming to you. So that means there is a higher arrangement. Daiva netrena. There is a higher arrangement according to the laws of administration of this universe, where the soul is transmigrated from one body to another, which you cannot see, but it is happening. Vayur gandhan ivashayat. Just like the air carries the aroma, you cannot see, but it is happening. Similarly, this is the function of the devatas or the demigods. The Paramatma, just like when an aeroplane crashes, how do they find out how the aeroplane crashed? Black box. So there is something called as a black box, but analogy is not very good, but much superior than black box, called Paramatma, sitting here. And he knows, kya kiye ho? And what he knows is a black box for everybody. Nobody else knows. But Krishna knows what you have done. And he gives instructions to the devatas. Take him in a cockroach's body. And the devatas, they will arrange the transmigration. But even when you go in a cockroach's body, you will carry the different conceptions of life. Once Srila Prabhupada was walking on the beach in Hawaii. He had a walk at morning 6 a.m. and then in the evening 5 p.m. he again came for a walk. Morning 6 a.m. he saw a boy surfing on the waves of the sea. Prabhupada asked, what is he doing? The devotees said, he's surfing. Prabhupada said, suffering? What is suffering? Yeah, I can see he's suffering. There is not suffering, surfing. Acha, okay. And then 5 p.m. he came, he saw the boy was still surfing. That means from morning, half a day he's surfing in water. Srila Prabhupada said that just see, he's spending so much time in water. Although he's suffering, his skin is, your skin becomes in a different way when you are water exposed for a long time. Although his body is struggling and suffering, but he's still enjoying in water. He's spending most of his time in water. If he dies, then the laws of nature will say, oh, you tried to spend so much time in water, you tried to swim on the water, you'll get a body in which you can do that in a much better way. You'll become a shark or a fish in your next life. Because you wanted to enjoy in the water like this. So the laws of nature see this only. This person has been sleeping a lot. Let us give him a body of a bear so that he can sleep even better. This person has been swimming a lot. Let us give him the body of a fish so that he can swim even better. So similarly, by the laws of by the conception which you have at the time of death and by the karma which you have done, the Paramatma will give order to the universal administration that take him in this particular body, him or her. And then in that way a transmigration will happen. But you cannot see it, but it will happen. How many of you who are sitting here could decide that I want to take birth in this family, this should be my parents, and then this is how my face should look, this is how my bodily construction and samskaras should be? How many of you could decide all this? Nobody asked you, na? You just got it. Similarly, transmigration will happen. You cannot say, hey, I was a big professor of this college, or I was an IAS officer, or I was a big Vidhayak or Rajneta, or a teacher, or an inspector, or a doctor, or some people feel proud about it also, IT professional of Bangalore. So basically I should get a better body next life. What is the size of the soul? The Shvetashvatara Upanishad states, when the upper point of a hair is divided into 100 parts and again such a part is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is the measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. So basically pluck your hair. Thank you. And then look at the point of the hair and divide it into 100 parts. Then take the 100th part, leave the other 99 parts, and then this part you divide again in 100 parts. Take the 1 by 10,000th of the tip of your hair. That is the size of the soul. Can you see it? Why this example is given? It's to make you realize that you cannot see the soul. It is so sukshma. That means with material eyes you cannot see the soul. You need spiritual vision to see the soul. But you are so adamant, you tell, show me God. I cannot see soul only, but I want to see super soul. That is the problem. And just see how minute this soul is, but this soul is able to power the body of a blue whale also. So just imagine how powerful the soul is. The same size of the soul was the soul of Hanuman. And Hanuman became so big that he could cross over an entire ocean. Think of the power of the soul. And where does the soul get its power from? Bhagavan. The soul gets the power from God. Do animals have a soul? Are you sure? There are some so-called religious books which say that only humans have a soul. So therefore the animals are meant to be killed and eaten. I will not name those so-called religious scriptures, but there are some religious scriptures who believe this. That only human beings have soul. The cows and the hens and the chickens and the eggs, they don't have a soul. Only dogs and human beings have soul. All other things are meant to be cut and eaten up. Are ghosts real? Are ghosts real? Oh, how do you say yes? How do you say yes? Have you experienced? Has anybody seen any encounter, ghostly encounter? Any one of you have seen any haunted house? जहाँ पर कुछ क्या लाइफ में कुछ एडवेंचर ही नहीं हुआ अभी तक क्या? ये haunted house you have seen. Address can you give me please? Where is it? Gujarat. Can you please share the address? Okay, you please share the address to us. ISKCON's one of the hobby is they go to haunted houses. We do Harinam Sankirtan. The ghost goes away. And then the house owner gives us the house for doing the programs at a lesser rent. So this is our strategy. So any haunted houses in Bangalore or in any part of India, please give us the details. We are really badly in need of opening more centers. And it is our favorite business, going to haunted houses. Because Bangalore real estate is more dangerous than a ghost house. So, between the transmigration of the soul, there are stages when the soul does not get a gross body due to its ghastly karmic activities. For instance, there is a person who has committed suicide. Then the laws of nature will punish such a person. There is the soul. General existence means soul, subtle body, gross body. But then they forcefully quit the gross body and they are not qualified enough to go back home, back to Godhead. So the soul is still covered by the subtle body. But in order to punish that soul for having rebelled against the laws of nature, a new gross body is not given for some time. That is called ghostly existence. Latak raha hai. It wants to go in another body, but transfer mechanism is not being facilitated. That is a ghost. No gross body, but covered only with the subtle body. So therefore, in the mind, because of the previous life's samskaras, they have desires. They want to do few things, they want to eat few things, they want to have some experiences, which is only possible with a gross body. But they don't have a gross body. Now imagine a 60-year or a 70-year-old man who wants to do various things in life, but the body is not allowing. What will be the natural mood of that person? Sorry?
Angry.
Frustrated and angry. And that is why most of the ghosts are frustrated and angry. Because they want to do so many things, but gross body nahi hai. So they try to possess a gross body also sometimes. So therefore, today's Bhagavad Gita class, are ghosts real, yes or no? Yes. Bach ke rehna. Why do souls in plant, animals and human bodies have different consciousness? Soul's consciousness is expanded or reduced based on the body it inhibits. For example, you are in a... Children, please settle down first. Your parents' class is still not over. Thank you. So you are in a child's body and everybody feels the child is so innocent. Child is so nice boy or nice girl. But when the same child, when they grow up, they start showing up their original form. So, as the body of the child from boyhood to youth to old age changes, they exhibit different consciousness. Agreed or not? Similarly, you are in a human body, you have a different consciousness. If we put you in a dog's body, you'll exhibit consciousness up to the level of the dog's body. So similarly, plants, when you kill a chicken or when you kill a goat, the goat will cry. It will shed tears, it will weep, because it's in a body where it can express itself. But there are few species, such as the plants, where the consciousness is very, 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 very low. So they will not, if you pluck a flower, they will not rebel. They will not die also. They will grow a new flower after that. So different species have different consciousness. That's what I'm trying to say. So higher the consciousness, higher is the crime. Mark my words, higher the consciousness, higher is the crime. For instance, if I have kept my mobile phone here, and if this small child comes and runs away with it, I will just run behind that child and get my mobile and come back. But let's say if my friend runs away with my mobile, what I will do? I will run after him, beat him up, and then some others who are frustrated in life, they will also come and beat him up. And then we'll give to the police also. Same activity, running away with the mobile. But because the consciousness of the child is not developed, so lesser punishment. But the consciousness of my friend is highly developed, so more punishment. Similarly, suffering also is like that. If a child falls sick, they don't suffer so much. But if an adult falls sick, they suffer more than a child. So similarly, the point which I am trying to say here is that higher the consciousness, more sensitive should be our treatment. Plucking a flower or plucking a vegetable is not the same as killing a cow. That's what I'm trying to say. The so-called atheists, they argue, when you take a fruit from the plant also feels the pain. Plants also have life. And when you cut the cow also feels pain. Cow also has life. So it's all the same. No, it's not the same. Higher the consciousness, more sensitive we should be, and higher will be the punishment. How can we see the soul? By chanting. So when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, one day you will be able to see yourself, you will be able to see God, and you will be able to understand who is God, who am I, and what is my relationship with Him. Point to be remembered here, self-realization is not independent of God realization. When you see the sun, you see yourself also. In the absence of the sun, you cannot see yourself also. So if you realize God, who is compared to the sun, you will automatically realize yourself also. Who am I? So all this happens by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Some of the natural results of soul realization are as follows. This is nothing to explain, but you can clearly understand. Those who have understood that they are not the body but the soul, they will experience great freedom. Freedom from the clutches of their mind, freedom from the clutches of modes of material nature, freedom from bad habits, freedom from stupid samskaras. That child is very excited. Forgiveness will come naturally to you. You will not hold grudges. You'll be able to tolerate understanding that the difficulties coming to me are a result of my own karma. One will be fearless in the face of death also. One will be able to focus more. One will be able to understand their sambandha with Bhagwan. One will be able to understand what is the process to attain the lotus feet of Bhagwan. And one will understand that the prayojan or the goal of my life is not beauty, name and fame, strength, or the ticket of standing in the election. The goal of my life is the lotus feet of Krishna. With this, we conclude today's discussion. We will move to our group chanting exercise, requesting all the volunteers to distribute the japmalas. Until the japmalas are distributed,